Hello, my literary luminaries, and welcome back. Welcome to Tuesday Talks, as I have finally started to find myself some sort of pattern. I apologize in advance if I, cough or sniff a lot. I seem to be right on the edge of a cold and have been for, 2 weeks now. It's really irritating, but I'm working my way through because this one I had fun with. This week's Tuesday Talks topic is favorite love stories or couples. So I took to my bookshelves and I found 4 that I particularly like. And I've specifically made an effort not to constantly inundate you with authors that I am personally familiar with, so not every video is going to have MCA Hogarth or Leah Habel in it. Though, of course, they do have couples that would work for this, but I've left them out for you. You don't need to listen to them all the time. If you want to know, I am more than happy to tell you down in the comments, obviously. But the first one I want to talk about, it's not the best written, shall we say. I mean, it's a YA novel that I read a very long time ago and probably need to reread the whole series because I haven't read it in 1,000 years. But I still remember really, really, really enjoying the story, and that is Hawk Song by Amelia Atwater Rhodes. And it's been long enough that I need to remind myself of what the main female's name is. Danica. Danica and Zane from Hawk Song. Yeah, that's how long ago I read these books. I loved these books the first time I read them. Danica is essentially a hawk person. Avian shapeshifter, that's how they're described. And Zane is a snake. And they are in warring kingdoms, and they're mortal enemies, and it's all very Romeo and Juliet in a lot of ways. But I always loved the imagery, I loved the way that the characters worked, I loved how, not only is it, Romeo and Juliet and fighting countries and all that jazz, but it's a hawk and a snake. That's like normal predator-prey relationship going on, too. There are a lot of really interesting things. I really, really, really need to reread these again, though. But if you haven't read anything of Amelia Atwater Rhodes, she's a fantastic author. I don't know if she's still actively writing. I should really check that out. But she's got the Hawk Song series, and then she has a whole series apart from that, which I want to say has to do with vampires. I think. The second one on my list is a more recent one, a book series that actually BookTube turned me onto, and that is Akira and Karu of Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy. I don't want to say too much about this because I don't want to spoil anything, but I like all of I still haven't read the third book, by the by. I've read the first 2. I still love all the things that need to get worked through between these. And I feel really weird walking around this because I don't want to spoil, but there's a lot of very interesting intricacies that go into the romance between these 2 characters, and I'll be interested to see how the third book deals with it, because obviously I don't actually know the end goal, but at least the romance that I have seen in the first 2 books, there's a lot going on here, and there's a lot of threads, and there's a lot of unfinished business, and I love it. Absolutely love it. And I really need to get the third book so I can read it. The third love story I love oh so dearly on this list, and it's nice because I actually have a book to hold up for it now, is Cecil and Carlos of Welcome to Night Vale. Is there really anything more that needs to be said? They are, shall we say, a perfect couple. There's not a single time that I don't, read the pieces in here that are from Cecil, listen to the podcast, anytime Cecil and Carlos end up near each other or talking to each other or talking about each other, it's adorable, and I love them. And I love what they represent. I've talked about this before, and it's something that the actors have talked about it as well, is that there's not a lot of sort of widely accepted stories where a couple is, homosexual or what have you, and it's not made a core element of who they are in the story. Like, Cecil and Carlos are dating, and it's irrelevant, entirely irrelevant, like, to the point that it's not even ever brought up that they're both guys. Like, it's just completely treated as run-of-the-mill, and that's not necessarily something we find a lot, is that there's still a lot of focus being like, oh, that's the gay couple. They're gay. It's two guys. And there's too much focus put on it, and so it's nice that Cecil and Carlos simply exist as a couple, regardless of what gender they both are. And I really, really like that, in addition to the fact that they're just perfect and adorable and wonderful. The last one, I'm going to warn everyone right now. In the event that you... I guess, I don't even know, if you've been living under a rock, if you've been avoiding, I don't even know. If you haven't read all the Harry Potter books, if you haven't seen all the movies, stop watching right now, because I cannot talk about this one without major, major, major spoilers. And I'm even going to try and do my best, but if you want to avoid spoilers, pause right now. I'll let you know when you can come back. Alright, I'm going to put in my spoiler text. The last one I've chosen. Always. Now everyone who's read the books knows who I'm talking about. And what I love about it is that it shapes everything he does. And it's something we don't know until the last book. And suddenly you look back and you see all of the moments that it touched. You see every single element of who he is completely altered by what is revealed of that love. And I still consider it a love story, despite the fact that it's not returned. It's an unrequited love. But it's a true, honest, painfully heart-wrenching love. And it ruined me. I love that character so much. And to see all that he's done and all that he's gone through and everything he's tried to do, all for that love. Always. That's all I can say. Because if I try and say too much more, I'll probably end up crying. Okay, spoilers done. You can come back now. Those are my 4 that I probably could have gone on for God knows how long with more of them, but those are the 4 I wanted to talk to y'all about. What are your favorite love stories? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you, and maybe I'll find some new and interesting books to read. So, until next time, I will see you all on Thursday. Bye! What are your favorite love stories and whatnot? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love down below.